Hey, ladies and gentlemen, MarshaunO, your favorite life and relationship strategist here, back out here in the garden. I love this garden. Don't you guys love the palm trees in back of me? Hopefully you guys are doing well, especially we are still during the quarantine. I know they're talking about opening back up the country. I hope that they actually don't, because this virus is just going to keep spreading, but that's not why I'm here. What I'm here to talk to you about today is the difference between being right and being happy. Now, several of you guys have been writing into me lately, and so this is where a lot of these ideas are coming from. So, but keep them coming, keep them coming, keep them coming. If you have an idea, send it to me at MarshaunO'Lanio.com, or depending on the platform that you're watching me on, that's for YouTube, and then on Facebook, you can send it to me during Facebook Messenger. So with that being said, what's the difference between being right and being happy? And I have several things that you just need to think about, okay? That's what this video is all about. I'm having you think, to bring your consciousness or your awareness up. So with that being said, being right versus being happy. So when you think about this, you think that happy people are always happy, or people that need to be right, or people that think they're right all the time always need to be right. Now, everybody can go back and forth, so it's not a one-way street all the time. However, by and large, most people, or a lot of people, take a stance, specifically when it comes to their relationship. They think that it's either one or the other, and you're always going to feel one way or the other, which is also not true. However, there may be a point that you feel that that you have to be only happy, or that you have to be only right. And so we're going to talk about that today. So one of the things that happy people do is that they don't need to prove anything. They understand that you have to be wrong at least sometimes in order to learn how to get it right, or how to be right, how to become right, how to show up right. So happy people understand that you're going to be wrong sometimes. And it's a process, it's a learning process. People that always think that they have to be right don't think about the process. They're like, I just got to be right. I don't care. I don't care if it costs me arguing all night. I don't care if it costs me my partner being mad at me. I don't care what it costs me. What I know for sure is that I'm right, and this person will acknowledge that I'm right. That's a lot of energy, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of energy, a lot of things that you need to take into consideration. When you're happy, you don't have to prove points. You just don't. Even when you know that you're right, there's no sense in arguing with somebody who is not ready to receive the information that you're dishing out to him, that you're dishing out to her. They're not ready, so there's no sense in you going down that rabbit hole of making yourself pissed off and all emotional and got these heightened emotions. Why do that to yourself? When you're happy, you realize that you don't have to be right, and you are never going to be right 100% of the time. Impossible. Right people tend to stay in the black and white realm, while happy people live in the gray. Right people always think that it's either right, or wrong. It's either left or right. It's either black or white. While happy people, we in the middle, and I'm definitely a happy person for sure. Even when I just, like I talked about number one, even when I know I'm right, I just shut the hell up, because you ain't ready to listen to what I have to say, or you're just one of those people who feel that you always have to be right, which means that you're more miserable than I am, and that's just the truth of the matter, because you feel that you need to prove points, and I don't. So you're taking on a lot more stress, a lot more anxiety, a lot more frustration, way more than I am, because I'm leaving that to you. I'm handing over that torch to you because you feel that you need it, so let me bow down and give it to you. It's not that serious for me. So I see things in the gray. It's not always going to be left. It's not always going to be right. It's not always going to be black. It's not always going to be white. There are going to be some things in the middle that maybe you have to compromise with, or maybe that you need to talk about more, or maybe that you need to learn how to do better, etc. There's some room in the middle to make mistakes and come back and say, I'm sorry, and to redo things. That's life. That's life. Another thing to think about. Happy people can surrender. We can let things go. We can let people control things. We can turn it over. We could just say, you know what? It's not my battle. This is not something that I have to lose my cool over. But right people They will lose their cool over it. And they have problems with surrendering the control. They need to be in control at all costs, no matter what. And when they are not in control, that's when the temper tantrum starts and the little child comes out to play. And when I say play, they really ain't playing, because now they're kicking and screaming, and they might even be talking down on you because they have to be right. And they don't want to surrender because they must control whatever is going on. And the reason why they're feeling like that is because they know deep down inside that they cannot control you or that situation that they're dealing with. But instead of them conceding, they're like, no, they're holding it all in. They all frustrated. You want to be right or you want to be happy? Me, I'm choosing happiness all day, all night. So right people like to be in control. Happy people can surrender and let you do you and move on with life, okay? Another thing, right people don't like to deal with the hurt of being wrong, which is why they held on to that control so hard. Happy people know that this is a part of the growth process. Again, you're not always gonna get it right. Nobody in the world knows everything. Nobody in the world knows everything about every person, about every topic. And anytime those people that act like they know everything, they wind up looking stupid or very immature because they think they know everything, when in fact, nobody knows everything about every single topic. You can be great at several things, good at some, fair at others, horrible at the rest. But right people think that they're right about everything. They know it all, and they don't. It's actually kind of sad to watch. I actually have somebody, I actually know somebody personally that fits into the right category, and is actually quite funny, but it's also sad to watch because they think that they know everything. They're a right person, right. And it's just not true. It's just not true. Happy people know that it is a part of the process. Yeah, you're gonna be wrong. Deal with it. Move on. Learn from it. Grow from it. Move on. Next, right people will argue with you to death to prove their point. Happy people will agree to disagree in order to move on and not get caught up in the senseless arguments over nothing, because that's what it ends up doing. It ends up being a conversation over nothing. And then you're pissed off, the other person might be pissed off, and both of y'all, by the time y'all come back and talk to each other, y'all have no idea why you were mad in the first place. Does that even make sense? Exactly. So it's useless, senseless, being mad at each other. Happy people can agree to disagree. Right people, definitely, I'm right. They will argue you to death until you concede and say, you know what, you're all right. Not very happy people. Another thing, happy people can differentiate when it's crucial or critical and when it's petty to move them forward. You know what? They don't have to prove that they're right. Again, I already mentioned that. They can tell when it's crucial, like to argue a point, and when it's petty. So they choose their battles. They choose their battles, and they know when to go back and forth and when not to. They know when to stop. They have more control than the person that's trying to keep the control, which is the quote unquote right person. The happier person actually has more control. They have more maturity in most cases because they can just go with the flow. It's not a big deal. Life is too short. They understand this. And when they're in the relationship, it is no different. I hope that I've helped you today. Which side are you on? Is it okay? And are you mature enough to say, I'd rather be happy than right? Are you mature enough to say, I'd rather be in my relationship than be right? Or are you a person that's going to argue your spouse, your partner to death, where they get sick and tired of being sick and tired of being sick and tired of you? And all of a sudden, now your relationship is down the hole, and you're not realizing that your relationship is actually falling apart right before your eyes because you too busy trying to be right instead of being happy and creating a happy environment. You want to be right. Ladies and gentlemen, I am MarshaunO, your life and relationship strategist. And I hope that you have learned something today and taken it into consideration. With that being said, the question of the day is, what did you actually learn today? Are you happy, or would you rather be right? Or are you a right person and you would rather be happy? Let me know down in the comment section below, and I will see you very, very soon. Bye, y'all.